Braves have made the trip across the bridge and are in Wareham, going for win number 16 of the season tonight against the Gatemen. Welcome into Before the Bravos, our Braves pregame show. Calvin Cristoforo back alongside Nick Galley as we are in Wareham, back at Spillane Field. Nick, looking to extend this Braves winning streak to 5 games.
It's nice to have you back, Calvin.
It is. You know, I had a little bit of a day off yesterday.
A little day off there. Always nice to have.
A little bit under the weather, but I'm back today, so we're ready to go and ready
back
to get
and
this
better than ever.
Ready to continue this Braves win streak, Nick.
I mean, yeah, they've been playing really well. One thing I was a little worried about when they lost their first game of the season was, will this team now go into a slide? And they've responded beautifully. This team is playing as good as they've been all season, and they just, the chemistry that we've seen from this team, they just click together so well. It's very rare to see in Cape Cod League baseball, but we're seeing it this year, and it's been a beauty to watch.
Absolutely, Nick. We got on the air a little bit late, so it's going to be an abbreviated version of Before the Bravos. So let's cut the chit-chat and go right into it. We got Michael Sansone starting on the mound tonight, the left-hander from Fairfield making his first start of the season. He has been excellent, though, in his other 2 relief appearances.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that we've seen on this team that knows how to spot his stuff better than pretty much anyone, and he has to because he's not a high-velocity pitcher, but he spots up beautifully. And his off-speed, his changeup, some of the best we've seen in the Cape League this season.
Absolutely. He's not going to walk you, which is what this Braves pitching staff has done. We talked about Austin Parsley last night. What he did now, 22 strikeouts on the season and no walks. This Braves pitching staff as a whole loves to fill up the strike zone, and that's why they've been so successful this season. We're going to run through the lineup here real quick as we're just about 5 minutes away from first pitch. It's a different looking lineup. Christian Knapczyk, he leads off playing second. No surprise there. Max Anderson's at first base tonight because it's Zach Agnos' night in the lineup. He's at first base hitting second. No real surprise there. Dalton Rushing hits third catching. That's not a shock. Braylon Wimmer not playing defense tonight, but you got to keep his bat in the lineup. He's hitting fourth, DHing. Caden Wallace is in right field, hitting fifth. And here's where the lineup gets a little bit interesting. Joe Lampe, we've seen him in the leadoff spot. We've seen him in the 9 spot, getting his first start of the season in the 6 spot. He's at batting 6, playing center. Nick Goodwin, a guy we've only seen in the infield, makes his first start of the season in the outfield. He's in left field, hitting 7th. Tanner Schobel hit a home run last night, back in the 8 spot in lineup tonight. He's over at shortstop. And like I mentioned, Zach Agnos, he's in the lineup tonight, playing third base where he's been so good defensively, hitting 9th.
Yeah, if I could pick out 3 guys in this lineup to look for tonight, I'm going to say Christian Knapczyk in the leadoff spot. He has been fantastic.
Another double last night. I believe that's his 7th of the season. That's still leading the team. Is it still tops the league in the Cape? It's up there, right?
Oh,
7
man.
doubles on the year.
Let me get you here, Calvin. Let me get you set up right. We'll go. I got the computer pulled up, as all good beat reporters do.
Our microphones have come back on. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty there. We should be back, which gives Nick plenty of time to see if Christian Knapczyk's still leading the league in doubles.
He does.
Okay, he's still leading the league in doubles.
He does. He's also 5 for 12 over his past 4 games. That's a 416
Is that good?
clip. It's pretty good. 416 is pretty good. Has 1 RBI, 2 doubles, 8 runs scored, and 7 walks. So not only is he getting hits, he's getting on base. Another guy I'm looking at, obviously, Caden Wallace, looking to extend his hit streak to 8 tonight. He's been fantastic over this past week. And then lastly, Nick Goodwin. Watch for him in left field. We're going to see how he does defensively.
That's very interesting. Goodwin getting his first start of the season out there in the outfield. Christian Knapczyk leads a Braves lineup that is full of guys who are red hot right now. Caden Wallace, you mentioned him. His hitting streak is up to 7 games. Dalton Rushing is just continuing to tear the cover off the ball. And then we got, of course, Braylon Wimmer in the 4 spot. Almost hit a home run. Probably thought he had a home run last night. Didn't go out, hit off the top of the fence. So this is a Braves lineup, especially at the top, that has been ripping through pitching this season. Right before the national anthem here, give me your pick to pop real quick.
I'm going to go with Tanner Schobel tonight.
I'm going to go with Caden Wallace. We're going to the national anthem right now. We'll be right back with first pitch here from Spillane Field.
Well, it's a tale of two streaks entering tonight's game here at Spillane Field. It's the Bourne Braves on a 4-game winning streak and the Wareham Gatemen on a 4-game losing streak. So in tonight's game, something's got to give. Will it be the Gatemen that continue their losing streak and the Braves picking up a 5th win in a row, or will Wareham snap it tonight and therefore snap the Braves' winning streak? Soon we will find out here, as a beautiful night for baseball soon to be underway, as the Gatemen in their maroon jerseys have just taken the field. Reeves Jackson, Daniel Coates, happy to have you along with us for some Saturday night baseball. And Daniel, it's great to be back here in the Shark Cage on Shark Week.
It's great to be in the Shark Cage during Shark Week. One of my favorite weeks of the entire year. You can know me, I'm a huge Shark fan, and not just a fan of Sharks, but this setup that we have here at Wareham is unbelievable. We're right on top of the Bourne Braves dugout. And it feels like we should be playing third base on the left field line because we are just about within touching distance of that third base side. But a great night here. We had some thunder issues, some lightning might be rolling in, but I think we're going to be clear of it. And so, again, another night of either defining the streak or the streak breaking. But I think by the way that the bats are swinging, we're in for another good night.
Yeah, Daniel, this is a Braves lineup that has been red hot as of late. And they found the power stroke last night in their 8-5 win against the YD Red Sox. They got 3 homers from Dalton Rushing, from Colby Thomas, and from Tanner Schobel. 2 of those 3 guys in the lineup tonight. Schobel and Rushing with Colby out of the lineup. Daniel, who do you look for tonight to step up in a big way after picking up a 4-0 win the last time we were here?
You know, I'm looking for Zach Agnos. We haven't seen a ton of him other than the trip to Orleans when he went 2 for 4 with a double and a triple. So Zach Agnos at the 9 spot. That's the first time he's going to be the caboose of the lineup that we've seen this entire season. So for him to be there and to send it back up to Christian Knapczyk, I think will be interesting. Another thing to keep an eye out for is Joe Lampe in the 6 spot. Again, first time we're seeing him in the middle of the lineup. We're used to seeing him at the 1 spot or the 9 spot. Now in the middle of the lineup behind Caden Wallace and before Nick Goodwin. It's going to be an interesting scenario to see him, in a way, try and continue things rather than lead them off or start as a catalyst.
Well, the pitcher tonight for the Wareham Gatemen from Missouri, out of Columbia, Missouri, it is Spencer Miles. And although this is his 6th appearance on the season, Daniel, he's been around this year. The Braves have yet to see him. Here in our 3rd game, the Braves lineup tonight. Leading off here, Christian Knapczyk, batting 2nd, Max Anderson. 3rd, Dalton Rushing, cleaning up, Braylon Wilmer. 5th, Caden Wallace. 6th, Joe Lampe. 7th, Nick Goodwin. 8th, Tanner Schobel. And rounding out the lineup is Zach Agnos. Miles ready. His first pitch of the night is slapped away, foul, and through the uprights. The field goal is good for Christian Knapczyk.
And if you didn't get what Reeves was just saying, this field here at Spillane serves as a baseball field, also a football field in left field going towards center. So an interesting setup here just all the way around. You look out to left field, there's the bullpen that is level with the top of the fence. We have the Shark Cage here on top of the Bourne Braves dugout.
Knapczyk, who watched the second pitch miss high for ball 1, takes a fastball there right in the zone 1 and 2. Miles on the season, 0-1, a 2.76 ERA. 23 strikeouts in 13 innings, including coming off of a 9-strikeout performance over 5 innings versus the Kettleers. That fastball misses inside. He's a high-velocity guy. We were talking to the Wareham Gatemen broadcast team. Miles will run up to 94-96, and he'll keep that throughout his start. So this is a pitcher who's one of the more highly touted guys in this league this summer, so the Braves have their hands full today as Knapczyk chops a breaking ball foul behind the plate.
He's coming off a season for Missouri where he went 2 for 6 with a 7.01 ERA. That was in 10 starts, 16 appearances and 60 innings pitched, 44-22 in favor of the strikeouts. So he's effective, but he still has work to go, and he's been proving that on the Cape this summer, but he still has things to prove here coming off of his college season in 2021.
Knapczyk fouls that ball over the middle school here at Wareham. 2-2 from Miles, and Christian Knapczyk, just as he did the other night, Daniel, he's proving to be a pest in a good way at that leadoff spot here for the Braves. He's been working each of the opposing starters into deep counts to begin the game.
Yeah, he started things off really well against McCarthy in the top of the first yesterday at YD.
That 2-2 breaking ball misses high, and the count is run full.
And he paved the way as far as really fatiguing McCarthy in that first bat. He almost got him to double digits in the first matchup that McCarthy faced, and he ended up walking, and he's doing it again here after a foul ball goes behind the backstop. Christian Knapczyk, I love seeing him at the one spot. He's taken over for Joe Lampe, who for the majority of this season was at the top of the lineup.
Knapczyk yesterday was 1 for 3 with a run scored, but he walked twice. That shows his discipline. 3-2, and that is a fastball up high. Knapczyk is aboard on a walk. That is one of the better at-bats to lead off a game that you will see.
Yeah, he did the exact same thing yesterday. Let's see if we can get the same result and post a crooked number in the top of the first. And Max Anderson yesterday got on base and started things off as well. So the same exact start that we're seeing here at Wareham that we saw yesterday at YD.
Here's Max Anderson. He's back over at first base tonight for his second start there this season. Watches a fastball miss outside.
And I know we mentioned this before, but I'll tell you what, being at this angle and not necessarily behind the backstop, seeing the velocity coming off of Miles' throw, it's unbelievable how much pace it has. 95-96 sounds correct.
1-0. Anderson with a chopper to short. This is a chance to turn two. Jarvis over to second to Troy for one. On to first, return throw. Does not beat Anderson. He's aboard on a fielder's choice. Almost had the turn, but Max beats the wrap. Spencer Miles, not a guy who's going to walk a lot of people. He has had one walker less in 4 of his 5 appearances this season. And that other appearance against Hyannis, in just 2 innings, he walked 3. So in that outing, his control left his hand a little bit as Dalton Rushing, 3-hole hitter, steps in. And the first pitch he sees, breaking ball. He showed bunt, something that I don't know if I've ever seen Dalton do before. I'm just used to him hitting dingers.
Well, that's certainly correct because he has the highest average on the team right now, 339. Emphasized by that home run we saw yesterday late in the game. It was an absolute bomb, no doubter. He took his time rounding the bases.
A fastball high there, 2-0. Something that we know a lot about Wareham. They're a very analytical team. Some Cape teams are, some Cape teams aren't. The Braves aren't. Wareham is. They got a shift employed here on Rushing. The shortstop Jarvis playing to the right of the second base bag. And the hole through the shortstop, where the shortstop would usually be playing, is wide open. 2-0, and Rushing cuts through late on a fastball. That's something we can see at this angle, Daniel. You made a great mention about being able to really kind of compare the velocity when you're looking at this angle. Sometimes when we're behind the plate, it's hard to tell if the hitter was late or on time. It's a brief second in which you can't really tell. Here you get a much better angle as Rushing late again on a fastball. Rushing having a tough time catching up here. It's 2-2.
Yeah, it just seems a bit late with the swing. And I'll tell you what, he's committing to it, though.
Yeah.
He's not hesitant on it. He knows that when that fastball comes high and inside, he's going to try and pull it. And he's shown that he was going to do that with those 2 cuts, but it just hasn't caught up to the fastball from Miles.
Miles out of the stretch here, 2-2 to Rushing. Back to the fastball, missing upstairs, 3-2. Anderson, not a guy who has great speed. Usually in a 3-2 count with less than 2 outs, you would see a speedy guy run, almost as if it was 3-2, 2 outs. Doubt Anderson's going here, 3-2 to Rushing. It is outside, fastball, ball 4. And we talked about Spencer Miles having excellent control all season, Daniel. In that 5 innings, in the loss to Katuitt, he only allowed 1 run and 2 hits, struck out 9, only walked 1. He's already walked 2 in the first 3 batters here tonight.
Well, we got off to a 4-0 lead yesterday with just 2 hits. And something you can't do against the Braves, and the reason why they've gotten to 15 wins, is taking opportunities away from other teams when they are present. By giving us walks, we have no outs and already 3 base runners on today. So every single batter that has gone into the batter's box has made it to the base path, and Miles just hasn't been able to find the strike zone with that fastball. It keeps running high.
Here's Braylon Wimmer, the cleanup hitter once again. He's DHing tonight and watches a fastball hit the outer half, 0-1. So for the Braves, they're 2, 3, well, I really 1 through 5 is the same as it has been with Knapczyk, Anderson, Rushing, Wimmer, Wallace. Where it changes is after that. Joe Lampe for the first time this year hitting 6th. Zach Agnos for the second time this season hitting 9th. 0-1. Wimmer fouls that back. 0-2. Nick Goodwin is batting 7th, where we've seen him this year. But Daniel, Nick Goodwin's out in the left field today. What'd you make of that move by Harvey Shapiro?
It's an interesting move because you have so many guys who are so well versed in the outfield and so experienced. So for Nick Goodwin, who's used to playing that second base position, uh, it'll be interesting to see how he performs. But
0-2, Wimmer slaps this one over to second base. Moving over to his left is Tommy Troy, tosses over to first. Each of the runners move up, though, and there's runners at second and third here for Caden Wallace.
it most certainly came as a surprise, though, to see Nick Goodwin in the outfield. Coming in, though, he has had experience at Kansas State doing that, so not a huge surprise, but just a bit eye-popping when you look at the lineup tonight.
Here's Wallace riding a 7-game hitting streak and a 10-game on-base streak that continues here into today's start in the 5 spot out in right field. With the runners at second and third, Braves looking to strike early. First pitch from Miles. It's an off-speed pitch that sways away, and it's 1-0. Miles has the choice of being a little more careful with Wallace with the base open and 2 down. Joe Lampe is on deck. Not a guy you want to face either, though. 1-0, that misses high. Although Lampe has been a bit colder than his usual self of late, Joe Lampe's not a guy I want to see in the lineup when I'm a pitcher on the mound, especially with runners on.
No, and Caden Wallace isn't either. With 2 men in scoring position, any type of contact really that finds the gap could score 2. And Caden Wallace, 17 for 52 with a .326 average in the top 3 for averages, 2 homers and 12 RBIs. Impressive, impressive stuff. And that was also highlighted in his walk-off single in Hyannis on Wednesday, or against Hyannis in Bourne on Wednesday.
Well, 3-0 assume Caden would be taking here regardless, as not sure if this is Miles' plan of attack to potentially pitch around Caden, but he's in danger of walking his third hitter and loading the bases. And he does just that on a 4-pitch walk. So Miles really wanting no part of the Arkansas Razorback. And Frechette, the catcher for Wareham today, is going to go out and talk with Spencer about how they want to approach the speedy Joe Lampe. Just remember, there is a force at any base, but if the ball's hit slow enough where they can't get a force, Joe Lampe's a tough guy to get over at first.
Yeah, he's the speediest guy on this team. That's why he's so often seen in center field. There's 2 outs, and all the base runners have made it on. Miles just can't find the zone. There's going to be a pitching meeting at the mound. But Miles, he has great velocity, but he just isn't finding the middle of the plate. And he's giving these Bourne Braves chances. They haven't capitalized just yet, but we have a bases-loaded situation with Joe Lampe, who we're seeing for the first time at the 6th spot. And again, this is an opportunity where the role is reversed. Rather than trying to start something or start opportunities, he has to now capitalize on it in the middle of the lineup.
Joe Lampe is 0 for his last 10, but looking to break out of that in a big way. And those 10 at-bats, 5 of them strikeouts. So a 50% strikeout rate in his last 4 games that he's appeared in. Looking to break the schneid in a big way here. Miles' first pitch is a fastball called strike on the outside corner. 0-1 here to Lampe.
He has 4 RBIs on the season, and that's mainly because we've seen him at the top of the order. But looking to add on to that, he can get the bat on the ball. That's why he's being moved all around.
Breaking ball that misses high and away.
But like you said, the last 10 at-bats just hasn't seemed to found his rhythm, and I think part of that is because Harvey Shapiro has been taking him in and out of these games and switching him around, and he hasn't had the consistency that he was earlier on this season where he knew he was always going to be at the 1 spot.
1-1 here to Lampe. It's a fastball. That misses high, 2-1. So Miles not missing by much here, Daniel. I say high, but it is just missing the top of the strike zone.
Yeah,
Enough where it wouldn't be called a strike, but he is missing close.
He's not wild. It's just perfectly placed just outside of the box.
2-1, and Lampe is going to sky this into right. Playable for Jack Brannigan. He's honored. He makes the catch, and the Braves leave him loaded in the top of the first. We'll get a fresh look at the Fairfield lefty Michael Sansone making his first start of the season when we come back here to Spillane Field in the bottom of the first. Well, he's been excellent all year, and now we get to take a look at Michael Sansone starting a game here for the Bourne Bravos. And to tell you all about Michael, Daniel, introduce us here to Sansone.
Yeah, he is a 2-0 record on the season. This will be his 4th appearance, the last one coming after he took over for Hunter Olmwood's start that did not go as planned, posting 3 runs and now was in the loss, but he went 5 innings, only allowed 1 run, 1 earned run, and only 3 hits on 5 innings pitched. So this is his first start. You know he can go a decent ways with 5 innings pitched and still be that effective. His ERA coming in is a 1.38, so expect impressive things from the Fairfield Stag.
Well, Michael Sansone in his last appearance struck out 8 over 5 innings. That was at Chatham. He's going to get a look here at the right-handed hitting Sean McLean, the third baseman for the Gatemen today. Sansone strictly out of the stretch, almost an abbreviated windup. He misses with the fastball. Low and away, 1-0. Sansone, his fastball will be roughly 85 to 87. Changeup deadly to right-handed hitters at 78, and Wareham stacked their lineup full of righties. Is that one a fastball? Outer half, 1-1. Daniel, that changeup for Sansone's one of the best in the league.
Yeah, it moves as much as a breaking ball. It's completely off speed. It dives low and away to righties, and he goes to it quite often.
A shakeup for this Gatemen lineup with as many righties as they could possibly go, as this one spoiled foul out of play to the right. Usually, Wareham would throw 4 to 5 left-handed hitters at this Bourne team. Owen Diodati is one of them, but not many lefties in this Wareham lineup today. Sansone for the 1-2 count here to number 10 in the maroon jerseys with the white pants are Wareham. Fastball high, 2-2. Wareham, although on a 4-game losing streak, they're middle of the pack offensively with a .229 team average. Obviously, Owen Diodati, one of the league's best hitters, and Wareham second in the league in home runs. This one popped up, should be in the field of play. Who wants it? Anderson are rushing. Anderson calls it in foul territory near the Wareham dugout. He's got it one away. Good start.
Good start. They're going to face Jim Jarvis next from Alabama. A San Diego, California kid. Came in with a .237 average. Good start, though, for Sansone, who needs a bit of boost of confidence, especially as a first-time starter in the Cape League.
And here's the left-handed hitting Jarvis. As you mentioned, a bunt in front of the plate, and then trickles foul. The Braves defensively tonight line up like this. Left to right is Nick Goodwin, Joe Lampe, and Caden Wallace. So center and right, pretty normal. Nick Goodwin gets his first start out on the left. Third to first, the always sure-handed Zach Agnos. Tanner Schobel at short. Christian Knapchak at second. Max Anderson gets his second start at first. And Dalton Rushing catching his third game of the season behind the plate. And as Calvin mentioned in our pregame show, Rushing caught Sansone's first appearance at Falmouth, which was one of the first handful of games in the season. Breaking ball there to the lefty, which is what he wants to utilize. He'll go primarily change-ups to righty, Daniel, and then he'll go with the breaking ball to lefty. It's just the way that moves.
Yeah, and you can tell he's more comfortable, it seems, sticking with the breaking ball and the off-speed pitch.
This one is ripped into left center field. Joe Lampe on the run. Lampe lays out. It's going to get down. And now past the left fielder Goodwin. Heading to second is Jarvis, and he's in with a double.
Yeah,
nice try by Lampe.
A good effort by Lampe, but again, there's some miscommunication out there between Goodwin and Lampe, and it offers Jim Jarvis another opportunity to move from first to second, and he takes advantage. That happened the other day with Caden Wallace back in Hyannis, but that's lack of experience and lack of communication out there in left field from Nick Goodwin and Joe Lampe working side by side.
Well, 3 of the last 4 losses for Wareham as Tommy Troy, right-handed hitting second baseman from Harvard, steps in. Troy wears number 4. Sansone's first pitch is a breaking ball that Troy thought about but laid off. Stanford. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. I knew it was a smart school, though.
I was going to say.
I knew Tommy Troy was right.
West.
Yes, the Harvard of the West. Thank you, sir. I guess they have similar colors, too. Somewhat. 1-0. Fastball called strike.
Well, the Gatemen in their maroons, it looks like the Harvard Crimson style of jersey that they have. So, confusion all around. And Stanford's not too far off with the color.
Thank you, sir. 1-1 here. Sansone out of the stretch with a runner in scoring position. Gatemen looking to strike first. That breaking ball misses in the dirt, 2-1. In the last 4 losses for the Gatemen, 3 of those 4 have been in the division. Back-to-back losses to Katuitt. And then they lost to Falmouth. That was the first 3 games. And then last night, a game against Orleans that just got away from Wareham. They led 2-1 heading to the 7th. They allowed 4 runs in the top of the 7th, including 4 Gatemen errors, multiple coming in that 7th inning. A game here at Spillane Field. As now Sansone, a pickoff move to second. Probably would have had him if the throw did not deflect off of Jarvis and then moves away from Knapczyk, and Jarvis is going to move all the way up to third. They had him dead to rights.
Yeah, they had him in a pickle, but a bit of a hesitation move from Michael Sansone, and he was off just low with the throw and unable to handle it over there as Tanner Schobel at short.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how that is scored. As when we find out how that's scored, we'll pass that along to you. So now runner at third, less than 2 outs here for Troy, who's ahead 2-1. Fastball, that looks good, but just missed. And it's 3-1. Not too much wrong with that pitch, just out of the zone. And the always dangerous Owen Diodati is on deck. Jarvis and Diodati, 2 of the lefties in this Wareham lineup tonight. 3-1 from Sansone. This one is lifted up. In the infield, it looks like it will stay in play. Anderson is over. He makes the catch, and the runner thinks about tagging here in Jarvis, but he was just trying to give Anderson a scare. Max goes, where are you going? And 2 down. What a big out there for Sansone.
Huge out, especially with a man on third. And after a mistake play with trying to pick off the second man, or the man at second, Jim Jarvis, improving him over to third, that is a huge confidence boost. 2 outs, and now you just have to focus on this batter, Owen Diodati, but that's not as easy as it sounds. Owen Diodati, batting .283, has 6 homers and 17 RBIs for the Gatemen.
Well, Wareham has a problem leaving runners on. I'll explain a little more in just a sec. Here's the first pitch to Diodati, breaking ball that's just off the plate, 1-0. Daniel, look at the comparison between these 2 teams. As far as total bases, the Braves with 273 in first, Wareham with 250 in second. Runs scored, Bourne first at 106, Wareham third to last in the Cape with 84. Yet they have the second most runners on base.
Yeah, they strand him, and it's coming off, and Michael Sansone's looking to add to that statistic. That one's fouled off. A well-hit ball, though, by Diodati. Shows his power. As I mentioned, 6 homers and 17 RBIs for the kid from Alabama. A couple Alabama players that we've seen, not just tonight, but throughout the entire league and throughout this entire season.
One of them we saw for 3 games in Caden Rose. 1-1, Jarvis at third, being aggressive over there. Breaking ball swung on and missed. It was a half swing, more like a 3/4 swing for Diodati, who went around, and it's 1-2.
He was well ahead of that. Completely fooled Diodati, and that is what Sansone is so good at, getting these batters off balance and ahead of his pitches.
Well, Diodati, obviously the team lead in runs driven in as well with 17. Next most is Cade Kern, who we do not see in the lineup today. 1-2 from Sansone. This ball is bounced hard over to the first base bag, but fell. And we'll do it again. Obviously, this is not the guy you want to face with runners on base. But at the same time, Daniel, Owen Diodati is second on this team in strikeouts with 22. So Sansone, with a prime opportunity to get the Braves out of the first with a runner stranded at third. 1-2. Good pitch there, off speed from Sansone, but Diodati does enough to chop it towards the Wareham dugout. Foul.
And he's ahead, but Diodati will not be stopped. He continues to battle. He is a player at the 4 spot that you hope that in the top of the first you'd never reach, because he is so dangerous with men on base. Almost at 20 RBIs for the season. That is impressive stuff.
Diodati trying to bring in his current college teammate Jarvis, and swing and a miss. A breaking ball from Sansone. and Diodati is down. So both teams leaving runners at third with the innings coming to an end as we head to the top of the second. Braves bats will get back at it when Reeves and Daniel here tonight. We return to Spillane Field. Top of the second inning, Braves will send the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to the plate. Goodwin, Schobel, and Agnos as they face Spencer Miles here for the top of the second inning. Miles ready to go against Goodwin, who's had a very productive season in a Braves uniform. He takes that pitch, a fastball, a called strike there to Goodwin.
Goodwin batting .285, and he's sneaky one of the best batters on our team. He doesn't really pop as far as statistics, but when it matters, he is as clutch as it gets. An interesting spot for him at 7, but I like it, especially leading down towards Tanner Schobel and Zach Agnos.
Goodwin fouls that off the handle of the bat and away with the Wareham dugout. 1-2 the count. Goodwin last started and last appeared in a game July 14th. That was on Wednesday when the Braves beat Hyannis 8-7. Goodwin was 0 for 3 but scored a run. He also walked as he chops this one over to short. Easy hop there for Jim Jarvis and fires it across the diamond for the first out.
Yeah, the Braves are making contact, but haven't really gotten anything past this infield right here. From left to right, it will go McLean, Jarvis, Troy, and Morales at first.
And in the outfield, Diodati, Fergus, and Brannigan.
Speaking of infield, we have Tanner Schobel up.
Yeah, Schobel blasted a second home run of the season last night. First pitch he sees is off the plate, and well, Joe Sullivan, our social media intern here, one of the leaders along with Ellie Coker, along with our excellent social media team, Joe posted that it was Tanner's first home run of the season, and Tanner said, whoa, 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 Joe, as Tanner Schobel launches this one into center field. Not going to be deep enough, as going back there is Cade Fergus. A few steps shy of the warning track to make the catch 2 down.
Yeah, he was battling the wind directly, which is coming from out in left field, and maybe on a normal day or even at Red Wilson from yesterday, that one might have been gone, especially just the power and the contact that he made. But today the elements are not suited for power hitters.
Here's Zach Agnos, who has shown flashes at times this season, Daniel, of being an excellent hitter, but has still struggled of late. He takes a fastball high here. Part of that is likely just due to you're not in the lineup consistently, and sometimes for some hitters it's tough to catch a roll. There's a fastball there to Agnos, catches the outer half. 1 ball and 1 strike. Zach hitting .184 on the season, 7 for 38. He had an opposite field homer early in the season against Falmouth. Is driven in 4. As Agnos sends this one into deep right center field. On the run is Ferguson Brannigan. Brannigan shy of the wall will make the catch. So the Braves send 2 balls deep into the outfield, but no luck to be shown as we head to the bottom of the second in a scoreless game. Cameron James leading off here for the Wareham Gatemen in the bottom of the second against Sansone, 5, 6, and 7. James, a right-handed hitting designated hitter tonight. As the first pitch is lined into left field. Nick Goodwin is right there. Doesn't have to move much. He makes the catch. And a good crowd here, especially from the Bourne Braves side. You look over to the left, Daniel. We got a lot of fans packing it in tonight.
Yeah, our away fans have really traveled well here today. And that's probably because Wareham, from us, it's really not too bad.
No,
you
not
go
at
over
all.
the bridge, and it's right here, right by Onset. But our Western Division counterpart, and that was actually Cameron, who is a national champion as well for Mississippi State.
He is indeed. Here's Yohandi Morales, who you want to be leading the league in a lot of things, but there are a few things you don't want to be leading the league in. He's one of the league leaders in strikeout rate. Nearly a 41% strikeout rate for Morales, as the nothing and one is up high.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that, and you don't want your name associated with it, but coming from the University of Miami, Florida, came in with a 284 for the Hurricanes. But Sansone looks comfortable. Another fastball and swing and a miss from Morales. He looks comfortable. You know, the one hit that he allowed in the bottom of the first was from a diving Joe Lampe, who just barely missed it and couldn't get his glove underneath it. But he looks comfortable, and he is delivering from the stretch, which he's used to, as most of the time he's seen in the relief position.
2-2 the count to Morales, who is 0 for his last 10. Just like Joe Lampe was before he flew out, now for his last 11. But Lampe will try to break that next time up. Sansone ready. He deals 2-2, is grounded over to short. Sure-handed Tanner Schobel up. Throw to first. Anderson stretches, and he's got it 2 away.
Good play from Tanner Schobel, who cemented that position over there at shortstop. Him and Napchik have just been a 1-2 punch in the middle of the infield. Very, very rarely have we seen errors, maybe 1 or 2 on the season. They are as sure-handed as ever. They take practice there for BP. They're used to those types of plays, and there's not a ground ball either of them has not seen.
Here's Jack Brannigan, the right-handed hitter. He's in right field tonight, as that's a called strike. And, well, Daniel, just like Nick Goodwin getting his first start in left tonight, Jack Brannigan is getting his first start in right field tonight, and he's on a 4-game hitting streak. Brannigan from Notre Dame. Sansone ready to go. 0-1. Swing and a miss. And it looked like the changeup there, and got Brannigan to swing over it. Like we said, it's a little harder with pitch recognition tonight on the road and in the Shark Cage, but other than that, the vantage point for us is one of the more cooler ones we'll have.
slow delivery from Sansone. It could make this a really, really quick inning.
No one misses in the dirt.
But, yeah, and for all who have not been to Spillane, the setup is we have a platform that is on level with the stands to our left, and we have to climb up this, I guess you would call it a ladder, but it's really just a handful of bars that we are able to climb up to, and we're right on top of the Bourne Braves dugout.
Yeah, we are. Really cool spot. Sansone missed there. Looks like a fastball. Count is even here at 2-2. Sansone ready to go, but Brannigan, on the other hand, taking his time, now steps into the box. Sansone already got his sign. Now he's ready to go to the plate. It is 2-2. Is downstairs, so now was ahead in the count. Now the count has run full.
Brannigan is 11 for 42. It hasn't really produced much. He has no homers and only 1 RBI on the season.
Sansone ready with the payoff pitch, and that's in the dirt. A changeup there, and Brannigan didn't think twice. He'll walk on down with a 2-out walk.
Yeah, he battled back from 0-2. Not the way you want to end, especially with 2 outs, but Sansone just has to dig back in again. He'll face the catcher, Frechette.
Sansone just his second walk issued of the year. So not something you'll see too often, especially when he's up in the count the way he was. Here's Anthony Frechette from George Washington.
This is his 4th game and his 12th at-bat for the Gatemen. He's a fairly new arrival. He takes a first pitch strike right down the middle. Sansone now relying a bit more on the fastball, but Frechette's at the bottom of the order. He's batting 182 and has 2 hits on the season, 2 for 11.
Nothing in 1 here to Frechette. Not a big lead at all for Brannigan. Doesn't have to worry about him to Sansone. High chopper to short. Backing up his Schobel. He's going to have to make a strong throw across the diamond, and he does. And a little pick over there for Anderson as well. Tanner Schobel showing off that right-handed gun early on. And the Braves will look to get Sansone some runs as we head to the top of the 3rd. Reeves Jackson back here with Daniel Coates. You hear the train horn in the background. For the Braves can provide some noise of their own. And to tell you all about it here in the top of the 3rd, it's Daniel Coates.
Miles will still be on the mound. He has 38 pitches at the moment. and he is faced by a Napchek slap to left field for a base hit to start things off. He is on base for the second time today, but that is his first hit of the day. He just slaps that one into left field, just shallow of Diodati. Man on first, and the Braves again are threatening.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece of hitting by Napchek. He does what he does best. He just lets that fastball get deep and then takes it to the opposite field. One of the best slap hitters, opposite field hitters in the league.
First pitch, swinging again, high fly ball. Pop fly coming in as the right fielder. He calls off the second baseman. Troy Brannigan makes the catch for out number 1.
That's a good job there by Brannigan. We mentioned that he was making his first start of the season out in right today. So that's a tough ball for a second baseman to go back on. And obviously when you're coming in, you have a lot better angle at that ball and the trajectory. And Brannigan did a good job. Doesn't matter where you catch it. Doesn't matter if you're infringing upon the infielder. All that matters is you get the out.
Max Anderson goes down off a pop fly to second base. Napchek still at first. Dalton Rushing, the leader in the average column, up, and he takes a first pitch strike, breaking ball on the inner half. Christian Napchek at first, improving on a 328 average and slowly creeping towards Dalton Rushing's leading 339.
Yeah, Dalton, the league's third leading hitter, as he's hitting 339 at least. Yeah, 339 still. I was going to say coming into play, but that average remains after a first-inning walk. He's blasted 4 homers, including a moonshot yesterday, and he's driven in 11 across 62 at-bats.
0-1, there goes Napchek. That one gets out of the hand of Frechette, and he doesn't even make an attempt as he was looking to cock it back. It slipped right out of his hands, and Napchek was safe the entire way. Man in scoring position now.
Yeah, so big chance here for Dalton, who we talked about in the first 2. They employ that shift on him, so hopefully Dalton can find a hole or maybe take it to the opposite field, which he so rarely does.
1-1 to Rushing, swing and a miss off a high fastball, now 1-2. Rushing in his last appearance made it to second off of a walk, but his time was ended at second in the first inning as we left bases loaded. 1-2. Hall takes a look back at Napchek. Fouled into the fence behind him. Dalton Rushing stays alive at a 1-2 count. 1 out. On an overcast day, we are just missing, I think, some severe rain and thunderstorms north of us.
Yeah, the game started off sunny in the first inning or so, and then since then, over the course of the past 20 minutes, clouds have started to roll in. Lights are on here at Spillane, or whatever lights are left working.
Breaking ball chopped down to first. Picked up by the first baseman, swung over to Hall, and they got him at first. It was close. Napchek advances to third. So Morales flips it to Miles, and Dalton Rushing made it a little more interesting than routine.
Yeah, nice job by Dalton, who was just hustling down the line there. But Morales, who I thought maybe could have taken it himself, opted to flip over to Miles. But now with Braylon Wimmer, who is an RBI machine for this team, and Miles going to work out of the windup. See if the Braves can get across the first run of the game.
Napchek again at third base. First pitch swinging foul into the net of the backstop. Braylon Wimmer looking to send home the first run of the game. Napchek just continues to make it far in this base path. He made it to second off a steal just a few moments ago. Another example of how Harvey Shapiro has been a bit more aggressive as of late. And that breaking ball hits the calf of Braylon Wimmer. Men on first and third now as he seamlessly trots down to first.
Yeah, a little bit of control issues for Spencer Miles today. Wimmer, who had that big RBI double that almost got out of the park at YD yesterday. He leads his team in runs driven in with 13, but he'll have to pass the torch to the second leading RBI man on the Braves with Caden Wallace. He has 12.
Men on first and third, and the Braves have 0 hits on the day, but have plenty of opportunities that have not been capitalized on. Here is one. Fastball high and outside to Caden Wallace.
Well, you saw how careful Miles was with Wallace in the first inning. Walked him on 4 pitches and wasn't trying to throw anything close to Caden. And you got, obviously, a base open here if you wanted to load the bases and bring up an exact same situation in the first we had.
That fastball catches middle in. 1-1, 2 outs.
I think Miles realizes, well, I can't just walk Caden Wallace every time I'm in a problem. I got to go up and got to get these guys out. That's why I'm up here.
Miles has been missing high with the fastball. He needs to bring it down a little bit. He did so just there. 1-1. That fastball in the same spot, same result. 1-2. 2 outs, and Miles is ahead. SEC versus SEC here. Knapcheck at third, Braylon Wimmer at first, underneath the lights at Spillane Field. The delivery, there goes Wimmer. High fly ball to left field. It's going to be deep. Going back is Diodati. He's underneath it and secures it. Stumbles a bit, but it ends in a fly ball. Out number 3 to left field from Caden Wallace. 2 men left on, Christian Knapcheck and Braylon Wimmer. 0-0 hitless and scoreless here going to the bottom of the third. Third inning for Michael Sansone, who has posted a scoreless first 2 innings against a Wareham Gatemen team that has had trouble, especially leaving men on base.
Yeah, they have. That has been one of their downfalls here this season.
Swing and a miss, bottom of the order. Cade Fergus, the center fielder, swings and misses to what looked like a changeup, a nasty changeup from Michael Sansone. He's pitching from the stretch. A slow delivery for Sansone. Fastball taken foul. Back into the net. 0-2 to Cade Fergus. Cade Fergus. George Washington 8 for 33 with a 242 average. 1 homer and 1 RBI. The Gatemen have been able to hit. It's just stringing them together, it seems like.
Yeah, that's been the issue for them. They've been getting runners on base, but as we saw, remember that game when they had 14 hits against the Braves? But how many runners did they leave on base?
Too many to count on 2 hands.
Yeah.
The delivery. High fastball, probably trying to test him a little. That was a bit too high. 1-2. Sansone, the Fairfield stag that we confirmed a stag is a type of deer.
Yes, not a horse.
Not a horse, as our Darren Weeks general manager so persistently assured me. 1-2. Swing and a miss. First batter faced in the bottom of the third. Goes down swinging. Cade Fergus finished off there in 4 pitches to the top of the order. We go. Sean McLean in his second appearance in the batter's box.
Well, speaking of Darren Weeks, tomorrow night the Braves back at home versus Katuitt. And Daniel, I know we plan on having both Darren Weeks and our president, Nicole.
Yeah, and that will
Norkovich on.
Another big Sunday night game. Swing and a miss off a high fastball. Sean McLean chases upstairs. It's 0-1, and we are going to have some more guests as we move forward in the near future, trying to get a little more insight into maybe the front office and some of the players.
Social
and some
media?
of the- Social media, some of what the other interns do on a day-to-day basis for the Braves. Second pitch, breaking ball on the outside. That's ball 1-1.
Would love to have Connor Sherwood and Daniel Sufi on the broadcast, talk about their role as the baseball ops interns for the Braves. Even our own Theo Bartolomeo. Would love to have him on, talk about the Braves.
High fly ball that's drifting foul over the Gatemen dugout. That is foul, 1-2, and we've already heard too much from our unlucky Nick Galley, who for some reason it always seems to go south for the Braves when he takes over behind the mic.
Nick's luck is
we
getting
love him,
better,
though.
though.
We love him.
Nick's luck is getting better, I will say.
He's working on his craft.
I will say, I felt bad for him at the beginning of the season because I've never seen someone so unlucky as far as when he came on the inning. But he's been great.
1-2 battled off just over the press box. Stays at 1-2. Fastball from Sansone is really what he's depending on right now, making his changeup a bit more unpredictable, which is what you want to see. He's keeping that fastball in the upper half of the zone. And he's facing a 1-2 count to the top of the order. Swinging to miss another foul ball, just missing the light pole. 1-2. McLean 0 for 1. He popped out to Max Anderson to start this game off. That was in foul territory, just shy of the Gatemen dugout. 1-2 on an overcast and blustery day. Breaking ball, that might have dropped in the zone. They call him. That's a great changeup from Michael Sansone, and the second strikeout at the bottom of the third.
A great pitch there from Sansone, just inside corner and rung up Sean McLean.
The home plate umpire made it dramatic.
Yes.
I was waiting. I
Yes.
thought that was going to be a called strike. But, again, the changeup for Michael Sansone strikes. That's the second strikeout of Sansone's bottom of the third. Jim Jarvis will be the next man up with 2 outs. No men on. Still from the stretch. Breaking ball again in the same spot to the lefty. That's strike 1.
Yeah, it was a beautiful pitch by Sansone, as you mentioned, the home plate umpire, as he tells the Wareham dugout to quit their chatter. Apparently, the Wareham side didn't like that called strike 3 to McLean. I thought it was a good pitch, Daniel. I thought it was in there.
I thought it was the same pitch that ended Sean McLean's at bat, correct? Still 0-1. Fastball grounded to Max Anderson. Backhanded. Here comes Sansone. All he does is tap on the bag after Max Anderson flicks it over to him at first, covering. And the Braves again post a scoreless inning. We're going to go to the top of the fourth, scoreless at Spillane. Miles in his 4th inning in the top of the 4th, and he'll face Joe Lampe for the 2nd time, who flew out to right. It was a deep ball, but today Spillane Field playing incredibly deep with the wind coming in from left center. Miles drifts high and outside for a breaking ball. Ball 1-0 to Joe Lampe, who's often seen at either at the very top or the very bottom of the lineup, is dead smack in the center at the 6th spot. 1-0, another fly ball. This one's to left field. Coming in, Diodati. Going out there is a shortstop. Diodati secures it, though, on his way in. What might have been a blooper that got over the shortstop turns into a fly out to left. 2 flyouts for Joe Lampe, who still is looking for that hit after 12 attempts.
Well, Jarvis and Diodati, they're go to Alabama together, so I'm sure the chemistry was still there right there.
Shortstop going way out.
Yeah, now Jarvis, no reason he should have been that far out there.
First pitch to Nick Goodwin, fastball on the outer half for strike 1. Miles seems like he's found the strike zone with the fastball. Now, it was drifting high at the beginning of this game. High fastball taken upstairs. That is going to be in foul territory. Will it be in play? Just over the Wareham Gatemen dugout. Unable to be fielded for strike number 2. Oh and 2 with 1 out. Wareham Gatemen in maroon, and the Bourne Braves in their classic road blues with gray pants.
What did Darren call them? Raspberry?
Raspberry.
Raspberry.
That's kind of spot on. Miles in his 4th inning, and he's pitching well, Reeves.
Yeah, he is. He had that trouble in the first where he couldn't locate his fastball or anything for that matter.
That 0-2 misses outside with a breaking ball. 1-2, 1 out. On deck is going to be Tanner Schobel.
And then since that, he's been consistently throwing strikes for the most part.
2-2, fastball in the dirt, low and outside. Good eye there from Nick Goodwin, who is batting .285 coming into the game. He has 5 RBIs and 1 homer. The delivery. Swing and a miss off a 2-2 fastball. Nick Goodwin 0 for 2 on the day, and he goes down swinging. The Bourne Braves bats have not carried over from yesterday's game at YD, and their 8-5 victory, and still looking for that first hit.
Yeah, eerily similar, obviously.
First pitch to Tanner Schobel, high and outside. That's going to be called strike. It was just on the corner of the zone.
Well, Knapczyk, he did hit single back in the 3rd. That was Braves' first hit in the 3rd for Knapczyk. But outside of,
yes.
yeah, but still, I mean, this is a very eerily similar game to the last time we played at Spillane Field on July 4th. It was Kyler Fedko who got the scoring started in the 6th inning when Fedko singled to left center field. And just got past the shortstop Jarvis, and then Max Anderson had a big 9th inning base hit.
The delivery foul, sprayed down the right field line. Tanner Schobel stays alive. The scoreboard went out for just a second here. In this baseball field turned football field, or maybe football turned baseball, we have uprights in left center.
This field's confused on what it wants to be.
Line drive right to the shortstop, Jarvis, and he snags it before it can drop onto the gravel. Line out for Tanner Schobel to finish the top of the 4th. We're going to go to the bottom of the 4th. I assume we'll see Sansone, but this is where the bullpen might start to get active. 0-0 in this Western Division battle. Daniel Coates alongside me. Reeves Jackson will be back with the bottom of the 4th in just a few. Michael Sansone back on the mound again for the bottom of the fourth. The Fairfield Stag showing why he is in the starting position with an impressive start. High fly ball to start things off. First pitch swinging for a pop out to Max Anderson, shallow infield. That is Tommy Troy. First pitch swinging on a high fastball to Sansone. Just took it up to the clouds and it dropped into the glove of Max Anderson.
Yeah, good start for Sansone. Can't get much better than that right there.
One pitch, one out. Here's Owen Diodati from Alabama. The lefty struck out in his last appearance. That was in the first inning. Sansone drifts high with a fastball, 1-0. One out in a game that has lacked action. We've seen a handful of base runners, but really the offensive production just isn't there. Sansone steps off. There's a dog who wanted to say something. I think that might have gotten in the way of his windup. The delivery now.
Ooh, wow.
A tough call off a fastball on the inner half. I thought he caught the zone, but it moves to 2-0 with 1 out. That was a very close call.
Yeah, very close. Got to be careful. Diodati, he's homered in 2 of his last 3 games.
2-0, and that one catches a very similar spot, but a different result. First strike to Diodati, 2-1. 1 out under the lights, and Wareham not too far of a drive from Bourne, as we have many Bourne Braves fans to our left in the bleachers.
We do indeed here on a Saturday night.
Breaking ball right to Tanner Schobel, a weak line drive up the middle, snagged by the Virginia Tech Hokie for out number 2.
That's a great job here by Sansone thus far.
Mississippi State, Cameron James, and national champion coming to the plate here with 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, Sansone with just 50 pitches. Obviously, he was stretched out over 5 innings against Chatham at Veterans Field. So maybe if Sansone gets a quick out here of James, you send Sansone out for a 6th inning. Haven't seen a Brave go longer than 5 thus far.
First pitch, pop fly. Max Anderson getting called off by Christian Knapczyk, just fair down the right field line. And that is out number 3. Sansone continues to deliver, and we're going to go to the top of the 5th, still scoreless in Spillane. Zach Agnos will face Miles, I should say, again in the top of the 5th, and I'm going to send it to you, Reeves.
Thank you, sir. Zach Agnos, 9-1-2 for the Braves, takes a fastball upstairs. So here's Spencer Miles. Working into the 5th inning, top of the 5th, as Agnos takes a fastball there, outer half called strike. So Michael Sansone with 51 pitches through 4 shutout innings thus far. As Agnos fouls that one over the screen, 1-2. So I think it's safe to assume that Sansone would be heading back out for a 5th.
Yeah, Sansone has been pitching so effectively, has only allowed 1 hit in the 4 innings that we've seen him, so why not throw him out there in a 5th? You know, we haven't really seen a Bourne Brave go this far, and only a handful of times,
yeah.
But looking over there at the bullpen, there is some action, but no serious thoughts, obviously, for Harvey Shapiro, as it's not necessarily buzzing.
Heck, if he's still rolling after the 5th, bring him back out for a 6th, as the 2-2 to Agnos, able to get a piece of that one and just fouls it off.
He was all over that one. That is his pitch, a bit high in the zone. He leveled it off, just barely was late on it.
And once again, we have Nick Galley eating food here next to us. But what's new? I had a Pop-Tart. But you know what? The Pop-Tarts are being good luck, Nick. So as Agnos pops this one up into foul territory, back is Morales. He drifts over and makes the catch. And Agnos is a pop-out victim of Miles for the first out.
Yeah, fly out in the 2nd and a pop out here in the 5th. Just hasn't been on the right side of the ball today. Miles has given a hittable ball, but the Braves haven't been able to take advantage other than the man at the plate now, Christian Knapczyk.
Here is Christian Knapczyk, who has the lone Braves hit of the day so far, as he watches that slider spin off the plate. 1-0. Knapczyk, who just slapped it into left field. His last time, grounds this one right back to Miles. He gloves it and tosses over to Morales with an overhand flip and 2 quick outs.
A generous first hop right into the glove of Miles, and that's as easy as it gets if it's not going to be an out from a strikeout. But Christian Knapczyk now 1 for 3 on the day, and the top half of this order with 2 outs needs to find something if they want to get away from Spillane with a win or a draw or really just any type of offensive activity.
Here's Anderson, and he rips this one into right center field. That's going to get down, and that's going to head to the wall. Brannigan will retrieve it. Max Anderson will head into second standing up, and the Braves might have some 2-out magic with an Anderson double.
That was a rope to right center. Made it all the way to the fence, and Max Anderson's impressive career thus far with the Braves continues.
Dalton Rushing will look to bring the game's first run home. As we talked about, we remember with Bourne and Wareham the last time these two teams met here at Spillane. It went into the 6th inning before Fedko broke the scoreless deadlock, as they're going to check over to first to see if Anderson missed the first base bag, but the home plate umpire says no, he did not.
We've heard from our own Calvin Christopher, the Signway reporter, that Eknes might be the man up after Michael Sansone's day is done.
I like that. Maybe we were expecting Omlid, but Eknes would be a fine candidate as Rushing foul tips that one off of the mask of Frechette. 0-1.
I still want to see what Sansone can do for another inning, maybe two.
Yeah.
Especially just he's not pitching. His pitch count per inning is not high just yet. I don't have the exact number, but
51 through 4.
51 through 4, that is unbelievable stuff, and it just proves how efficient he's been.
Rushing with a fly ball into deep left field. That chases Diodati back. That ball is going to one-hop the wall. Coming in to score is Anderson, and Dalton Rushing is going to pull into second with an RBI double, and the Braves do strike first and break a scoreless deadlock here in the 5th.
2 doubles do it. 1-0 lead. The Braves finally get on the board. And that is just the 3rd hit of the day. And the Bourne Braves finally get a man across, and that was a great piece of hitting from Dalton Rushing on any day that really the wind isn't coming in, and especially playing in this really deep field, that might have been gone. I'm sure that would have been gone yesterday at Red Wilson.
Yeah, no doubt about it. As we get a visit from the coach here of Wareham. And now after the 2 doubles here from Anderson and Rushing, adding to the league-leading Bourne Braves when it comes to doubles, now with 35 on the season, as Dalton Rushing picks up his 4th double after Anderson also picked up his 4th, and the Braves chase Spencer Miles from the game with Dalton Rushing and Max Anderson coming together with some 2-out magic. We'll tell you about the new Wareham pitcher when we come back here to Spillane Field. You're listening to the Bourne Braves audio live stream right here. We'll be back. Well, a familiar arm that we saw before on July 4th. It's the new right-hander into the game from UPenn. It's Kevin Asay.
Yeah, Asay we've seen before. We saw him on the 4th here at Spillane in their 0-4 loss. He had 1 pitch, gave up 2 to us. Asay from Penn hasn't necessarily had our numbers, so after an impressive start from Miles, here comes a familiar face for the Braves.
Braylon Wilmer spoiled the first pitch foul. So after Agnos popped up in foul territory to the first base side, Knapchak bounced out quickly to Miles. An Anderson double and a Rushing double have put the Braves ahead first. As the excellent pitching of Sansone has continued, Wilmer chases through a fastball there. And quickly, Asay ahead on the count. 0-2. On the season, Asay a 5.40 ERA, his 4th appearance. Has struck out 2 over 3 1/3 innings. Has allowed 5 hits, hasn't issued a walk. He's come in throwing strikes here as that one misses low.
Sticking with the fastball, and it looks like it has great velocity. No radar gun here today, but I got to imagine that is maybe low mid-90s.
Yeah, I'd probably go 90-91 if I had to say.
Definitely a cool change of perspective with the angle that we're calling from the shark cage today.
Fastball misses away. Yeah, it's always, it kind of gets a bad rep. It really does. I feel like everyone's like, oh, did you have to go there today? I'm like, I loved it. It's a different perspective. I mean, granted, it's nice getting to see the action from behind the plate, But if I had one stadium that I didn't have to do that for as the perspective, that's cool with me. Change it up.
I think I'll go one step further and say that this is my favorite away setup.
Okay. Well, Braylon Wimmer swings and misses 4-strike-3, but the Braves get a run, back-to-back 2-out doubles, and the Braves lead heading to the bottom of the 5th. Back here at Spillane Field with the Braves leading 1-0. Sansone back out for a 5th. And here in between innings, we'd like to thank our corporate sponsors here for the 2021 Summer Cape League season. And on behalf of the Bourne Braves and the Wareham Gatemen League officers and the entire Cape League family, we would like to announce and thank our 2021 corporate sponsors. With much appreciation, we recognize the Yawkey Foundation, Curry College, Cape Cod Healthcare, the 99 Restaurants, Coca-Cola, easy for me to say, Bottling of Cape Cod, Badger Sport 47 brand Cape Cod 5-cent saving bank, Milton Cat, Mosquito Marys, as their ad just displayed over the sound system here, Fairway Financial, Ocean Spray, Seaside, Le Mans, and Rogers Gray. And here's Nick Galley joining us here on the broadcast, bottom of the 5th inning. 6, 7, and 8. Morales, Brannigan, and Frechette. Sansone's first pitch is high, ball 1. Nick, this is an exciting season so far that we've obviously talked about so much, but it just seems like the Braves, it wasn't just a fluke. It wasn't just a hot start, but this team is just that darn good.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we saw that after their first loss. You know, they didn't go into a deep losing skid. They didn't get discouraged. They didn't get down on themselves. I believe the game after that Katuitt game resulted in a tie, but it was a hard-fought tie, and the Braves are right back to where they were when they started this season, and that's playing good baseball.
It's fouled back here, 1-2 to Yohandy Morales. And even, I mean, I got to say myself, I thought, this team's good, but the rest of this league is also that good.
Yeah.
So this run is almost unsustainable, and I probably said that a few times. Obviously, you're not going to break off 8 to 9 games. That one misses away. You're not going to break off 8 to 9 game winning streak like it's normal. But this is a team that if they lose one, they might win 4 out of the next 5 or 5 out of the next 8. They're going to be a winning ball club. And I think at first the rest of the league kind of had that same line of thinking as this one is lined in a deep left center field by Morales. That ball is going to get down into that deep part in left center. Morales on his way to second. He's being sent to third. Here's the relay throw. That ball's going to deflect up. Sansone's going to grab it, but Yohandy Morales with a lead-off triple here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Maybe my luck is pretty bad. I heard you guys talking earlier.
Yeah.
My luck's getting better.
It's not good. We
so
spoke too
No,
soon.
this is your fault.
Oh, it's my fault.
Yeah, because you said my luck was getting better. Why would you even mention that?
Because, Nick, your luck was so bad that even a called strike would have made your luck even better.
Whoa, all right. Now we're going that low. But no, you completely jinxed it.
Kidding.
You completely jinxed it. And now we're right back to square one.
Nick, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh, my goodness.
Here's Brannigan. And he's going to ground this one to short. Schobel looks back. Morales throws it over to first. And a great job there by Schobel. Obviously, Harvey Shapiro. Nick, I've told Daniel this multiple times. I'm a big fan of not playing the infield in all the way on the lip of the grass, but they creep up into about, look where they are right now. See, they're like midway
through the dirt.
through the dirt or the stone dust.
The gravel.
Yeah, it looks like gravel. I'll tell you that.
Do we know what that
Stone dust.
What is stone dust?
That is beyond my knowledge.
That's gravel, Reeves. I don't care what anyone says.
All right.
That is gravel.
We're gonna go gravel then. Here's Frechette, the catcher.
Oh, sand? You mean the pasty golden crust? Is that it? Like, that is gravel on the field, not stone dust. Who told you it was stone dust?
The Wareham people.
Yeah, that's a cover-up. That is a cover-up.
Sorry, I didn't major in rocks. Here's the 1-0. This one bounced over to Agnos. Zach Agnos is going to go to the plate.
What a play. What a play.
Rushing is going to tag him out. Look at the Bravos, baby.
Wow.
Stranding runners all over the place. And Nick, for Wareham, that's been the story of the season. I don't know if you heard me say that statistic to Daniel about how many runners they have gotten on base this season and how many runners have actually come in to score. Did you hear me say that earlier?
I don't think I did. I try to listen to you guys as little as possible, especially when you're speaking.
I shouldn't tell you that.
No, let's hear it.
No, yeah. So coming into the game, Wareham, second in the league,
Mm-hmm.
and folks, you've already heard this at home, but second in the league at 250 total bases coming into the game.
Okay.
As here comes Cade Fergus. Tell you about the first pitch from Sansone first, a swing and a miss. So second in the league, 250 total bases. Third worst in the league, 84 runs scored.
That tells you something right there. That's a good look at the numbers, Reeves Jackson.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. For someone who's good at numbers themselves.
Nah. I want to say I'm good at numbers.
Okay,
I have no life. I have no life.
Good at. There's better. I think there's a difference between good at numbers and good at statistics.
That's true.
Like,
That's true.
Good at numbers, as a swing and a miss again for Cade Fergus, 0-2. I look at good at numbers is like Calvin, who's a mathematics minor.
Yeah.
But good at statistics is like, okay, I can evaluate numbers in a sports setting.
Yeah, I can crunch stats for baseball all day.
Yeah, same here.
Put me in a calculus room and all. I won't do anything. I just won't do anything.
My brain will go dead.
Yeah.
Here's Fergus, 0-2. As the lead at first from Frechette. Sansone ready and somehow able to get a piece of that changeup.
He tipped that?
He did. I was surprised too. He barely did.
What?
But Nick, back to the initial conversation, there was a lot of people around the league that were also wondering, okay, is Bourne this good or are they this hot? And obviously, the answer to that is they're that good.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think the success is here to stay, even with the loss to their pitching.
Well,
staff.
yeah, because guys are switching different roles now. The lineup's different. You got different guys starting, and they're still playing at a high level. And that's very tough to do in a league like this with this much turnover. When you got guys coming, going, not every day is guaranteed for some of these guys, but a lot of these guys are just clicking. And I mean, they're all kind of hot at the same time, and it's not just a little bit of a hot streak right now. It's a good team that we're looking at.
It sure is. And the guy on the mound has been one of the focal points of this pitching staff all season. Austin Parsley, I mean, everybody. There's not really an arm that has struggled. 0-2 from Sansone. This one is fouled back. You look at all the guys. I mean, you just go up and down the list when you think about it. You have Colchadoba, Austin Parsley, last night's winning pitcher, Tristan Vreeling, Michael Sansone, Eric Adler. I mean, the names just go on and on on. Ken Turner's been solid. Ben Etheridge has been great of late. Xavier Lovett.
Name a guy, and they're probably pretty good.
Yes, absolutely. 0-2, Sansone ready. And staying alive here is Cade Fergus. He struck out swinging to Sansone. That was back in the third. And obviously here, Nick, we were thinking maybe if Sansone has a quick fifth, he could work his way into the sixth. Obviously, this has been a longer inning than
he'll be done after.
Yes, he'll be done after this. Correct.
But hey, 5 innings. This is what's crazy to me. The Braves have scored 1 run through 5 rounds of at-bats. All right? And they're winning. I mean, that tells you all you need to know about your pitching staff.
The fact that they allowed – I mean, it's just the streak where they allowed 3 consecutive games of 2 runs. 3 games in a row, it's hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, they've done this multiple times. Like, if you're winning games and you're up like 1-0, 2-0, that's weird. Like, that's not normal.
Yeah, not normal.
I mean, that means your pitching staff is good.
Well, even yesterday, nothing against Cade Smith, and obviously you can't take out an inning from a baseball game, but the Braves would have allowed just one run.
Yeah,
take
it
out
was
that ninth.
8-1. The ninth really didn't matter, but that's why you get insurance runs. So if stuff like that does happen, you still win the game.
1-2 from Sansone, and Cade Fergus is elongating this at bat here.
Because stuff like that is gonna happen. Like I fully expect a starter to come out with the remainder of the season and get kind of lit up a little bit. I mean, you're not gonna have 40 perfect starts or 40 quality starts over the course of the season.
And really, to this point, there's only really been one, what you could call not so great start, and that was from Hunter Olmert against Chatham.
Chatham, yeah.
1-2.
What in the world?
This one, a slow tapper to second. Knapczyk going to use the bare hand. Throws to first, not in time.
Oh, my God. That would have been a great play.
So Fergus, who has good speed, beats the wrap. And now the Gatemen have runners on first and second. And Daniel, do we see the end of the line for Sansone here?
Did you just call me Daniel?
Oh, my goodness gracious. I was trying to think of so many. I was trying to think of Sansone, Eknes, and then your name in the same sentence. You know what? I did this to Calvin the last time.
Yeah, I don't care what you did to Calvin.
You know what, Nick?
Time.
I'm sorry. I spend like 98% of my time with Daniel, on and off the field.
My goodness.
Forgive me.
No, it's fine.
Here's Sean McLean, the leadoff hitter. Sansone staying in, has to bear down. First pitch, it's a fastball, and it's popped up on the right side. Shallow right. Here comes Knapczyk.
Oh.
A bit of a communication struggle with him and Caden Wallace, but Knapczyk calls him off and makes the catch. We head to the top of the sixth inning, and Sansone works out of trouble and keeps a 1-0 Braves lead. Well, Reeves Jackson now joined by the actual Daniel Coates, even though I called Nick Daniel. Here in the.
I don't know who should be more offended.
Yeah. Well, I'd say, I guess Nick.
Anyway, we're gonna be back here after Nick Galley. He was close to proving himself again that he is a bad luck charm, but a play by Zach Agnos kind of saved him right there and caught the base runner after a triple, trying to steal home off a ground ball. And the Braves and Sansone still have yet to let up a run against the Gatemen.
There's Caden Wallace leading off here for the Braves in the top of the sixth. 5, 6, and 7. Called strike there to Caden. Wallace, Lampy, and Goodwin.
He's 0 for 2 today. Like most of the lineup is having an off and rather quiet day in Wareham.
Wallace with a bouncer to first, but foul of the bag. Morales still taps the bag anyways.
It was close. It was riding the chalk the entire way down the first base line and just drifted foul, and it looks like that might have broken the bat as he's trading one in here at the dugout and takes time.
Yeah. Happens when you got the good old wooden bats here. These players making the transition. Obviously, from what they use, the metal bats at the collegiate level, nothing to Wallace, and fouls this one straight back.
Caden's told us that he actually really enjoys playing with the wooden bat, and of course nice with the metal bat because the contact when you hit the barrel is so pure and really takes off, of course. But the transition here for Caden, he says, was kind of in his favor.
Wallace fouls this one back. remains 0-2. To Wallace, he watches that fastball high.
And just to check around the league, the Brewster Whitecaps are on top of the Cotuit Cavaliers 7-3. The Falmouth Commodores behind 1-4 against the Harwich Mariners. Chatham Anglers 4, Hyannis Harbor Hawks 1. And the Braves here on top by 1.
Caden Wallace sends a drive into deep center. Fergus back, but this field plays as deep as you can possibly think of.
No warning track here, but he would have been on the dirt if there was. The center fielder, Fergus, went all the way back. This might be I shouldn't say the deepest because Orleans is most certainly the deepest at 435. But this is one incredibly deep center field, and Caden Wallace used all of the field there, but just didn't have enough to send it over, and that's hard to do, especially with the wind coming in from center.
Lampy fouls this one off. Well, good news, Brewster and Cotuit just won final. So a 7-3 Brewster win. That game finished in 8 innings, as that one was called due to no lights at Cotuit. Something that we experienced a little bit of last night at YD. It got dark early as Lampy sprays this one foul past Harvey Shapiro right near us, 0-2. But obviously, Daniel, we were able to get through all 9 innings last night before it was too dark to play. You know,
and you actually, I mean, we were so efficient, and there was a little shake-up with 2 homers let up by Cade Smith in the 9th, but we were getting close to it and actually made for a really nice backdrop for your interview with Austin Parsley.
As Joe Lampy almost keeps that one fair. About on the same spot, though, fouled on the third baseline.
Looks like he has something against Harvey Shapiro. He keeps sending worm burners down there, and Harvey Shapiro has to step out of the way. But Joe Lampy in the 6th spot. He's flown out twice. He's been on top of the ball, but has just sent it a bit too high. Hasn't found the gaps just yet, but hopefully this third appearance will prove otherwise.
Watches a breaking ball in the dirt. But yeah, the Braves were efficient in those later innings. The game kind of drug along as the Braves were just scoring a lot of runs. Obviously, Hyannis trying to avoid losing their 12th game in a row tonight to the Chatham Anglers, as that one misses way away. Harwich on top of Falmouth, as you mentioned. That's good for us, Daniel. And Cotuit going down even better. And if we beat the Wareham Gatemen tonight, the Bourne Braves, as we saw earlier this year at one point, would be the only team in the division to pick up a win. As that one misses inside to Lampy.
And we need it badly. No, we definitely don't. I mean, it's always great to get a win. You need to keep rolling. We have 33 points. The Cotuit Cavaliers are 22 and sitting at second at the moment.
Breaking ball, and Lampy is rung up. Well, the Braves dugout voices their concern with that strike 3 call. A little too close to be taking, but might have been off the plate. As Lampy goes down, though, regardless, 2 down for Nick Goodwin. Now the Braves 11 points up on Cotuit. If they win tonight, make it 13. As a breaking ball misses in the dirt to Nick. The Braves in their last 10, 7-2-1. And Cotuit 6-4 in their last 10. So Cotuit starting to catch their stride here in the middle of the season. As another breaking ball misses in the same spot.
We'll be seeing them tomorrow, but coming off a loss to Brewster, I don't know if it says more about Cotuit or if it says more about Brewster, because we met Brewster early on. That was the second game of the season, our first road game. But Brewster has really proven to be one of the powerhouses in the Eastern Division.
Goodwin swings and misses. Yeah, Brewster 12-7-2 with the win tonight. Now 26 points. They lead the Eastern Division. But you look up and down there, all separated by 7 points first to last as Goodwin chases there. 2-2. A low pitch. Brewster with 26. Harwich with 23. YD, who we beat last night, just right behind them with 22. Orleans and Chatham tied for 19. Orleans got off to an incredible start. They've been cooled off as of late As Goodwin takes a slider away, count runs full. Orleans in their last 10, 4-4-2. Meanwhile, Brewster just keeps playing great ball, 7-3 in their last 10 games. 3-2 swing and a miss, strike three. Good pitch there from Ase, and that'll send this game to the bottom of the sixth with the Braves still leading by 1. Bottom of the sixth inning, and Michael Sansone's day is done after 5. He is in line for the win. But if the Braves don't add any more insurance runs, then this is a tight lead for the bullpen to close out. And first out of that bullpen, it's Josh Eknes. His family's here behind us, Daniel, and I'm sure he is amped to pitch in front of what he feels like a little more of a home crowd.
Yeah, most certainly. There was a big ovation for Josh Eknes coming into this game. Him and Dalton Rushing meeting at the pitching mound. He's faced Wareham before. He pitched 1.1 innings, let up a run and 2 hits. His last appearance was against Hyannis. This past Wednesday, he pitched 1.1 again, let up 2 runs. Only had 1 strikeout, so some stuff to prove here for the Lamar kid.
Yeah, didn't allow a hit in that game, but issued 2 walks. The runs that were his were given up by Xavier Lovett. 1-0 here as the first pitch missed high, and so does the second to Jim Jarvis. So a tough part of the order to come in and face, especially when 2 of those guys are the lefties that were put into this lineup against Sansone and Jarvis and Diodati. 2-4. 2-0 from Eknes. He fires in a strike. We know about the velocity of Eknes, 95 to 98. 4 1/3 innings compiled for Eknes so far. This one is popped up. Another fastball. Skied out of play in foul territory and gets the concrete and takes a high bounce.
That was well high. Taken all the way up past the lights here at Spillane. 2-2, and a good job by Eknes to get right back in it after a couple of balls. But Jarvis trying to prove himself here today.
Jarvis with that ever so awkward batting stance as the 2-2 is lifted on top of the school here. And behind us, as Kevin Graber telling Nick Goodwin to move in a few steps from left field, and he's continuing to wave him in. As choking up here is Jarvis with 2 strikes. A breaking ball misses high. Eknes trying to avoid a leadoff walk The 3-2 swing and a miss. The bat goes flying over to the Wareham dugout as Rushing sends it around the horn, one away.
And all the Wareham Gatemen scatter in that area. Took away from Eknes's first strikeout and first matchup of the night, but he battled back, took a bit more, took longer than he thought, a couple more pitches, but he got the first out here, and I'm sure we'll see another Bourne Brave, but for his time, he hasn't gone past 1.5 innings, so we'll see what he can do here, especially just getting through the first and seeing how Harvey Shapiro and how the bullpen feels moving forward in this game.
First pitch ball, second pitch ball. One was high, one was low to Tommy Troy. As you mentioned, Eknes with his season-long outing of just an inning and a third. The most batters he's faced in any outing was 6. That was against Hyannis, where he had a leadoff walk. And in danger of putting Troy aboard, it's 3-0. You don't want to put runners on base for Owen Diodati. Eknes with a fastball, and that misses. It was close, but no call from the umpire. A 4-pitch walk to number 4, and he's aboard.
We have yet to see Eknes at the plate, even though almost every game we see him taking BP from Kevin Graber, who throws BP, and you know, you got to imagine we'll see him at one point in this season at the plate and see what he can do. But pitching-wise here, not great, letting off a base here in the first. That one is fouled, but he's just got to dive right back into it. He's dealing now out of the stretch. Walks have been tough for him. He has to find his accuracy now.
So Diodati lifted the first one out of play. A big, big lead for Tommy Troy over there at first. And you got Rushing behind the plate, who's got a great arm. Eknes, who has a slower delivery to the plate, making it a little easier to run on him. We'll see how Wareham wants to approach this. Wareham, a pretty aggressive team on the base pass. They're 4th in the league with 28 steals. They've been caught the second most times this year, 13. There's a check over there, almost threw it away, but Anderson leaps up to catch it. Leading this team in stolen bases is that man over at first, Tommy Troy, 8 for 10. So he could very well be on the move here within this next pitch or so. Obviously, you don't want to risk running into an out and having Diodati hit with the bases empty, but down 1-0 and you haven't been getting much offense going, you got to put a guy in scoring position. Troy not going here. A pitch out. Rushing fires it back down to first. And a good job by Anderson to pick that out of the dirt, or else that could have been trouble and Troy could have been over at third. With Caden Wallace playing well off of the line. Obviously not shading Diodati to pull. Even Lampy shaded over to the left side of the second base bag out in center. Eknes comes set. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Owen. Big lead for Troy. Troy fakes a move, and Diodati chops this one foul. It's the camera over there on the first base side. Looks like one of the Wareham interns. 1-2 the count. But Eknes is outside of that 4-pitch walk to Troy. Throwing strikes here, 1-2, and he struck out Jarvis for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, this is a huge pitch right here. It will set the tone for the rest of this half inning.
A check on Troy, who dives in safely. Troy, who really expands that lead once Eknes comes set. Has about a 3-step lead. And then when Eknes comes set, he gets about a few links more, as this one is lifted into right. Nothing Caden Wallace shouldn't be able to handle. He's got it for the second out.
Easy play for Caden Wallace, just stayed right underneath it. It was really good contact by Diodati, but Eknes gets the upper hand as he now sets the tone. He was ahead early, And he'll face Cameron James, who has flown out and popped out today. A lot of that today. The ball is being taken into the sky far more often than it's rolled.
Big lead for Troy. He's moving. That pitch in the dirt, Rushing throw down to second base. What a throw by Rushing! And the tag applied there by Christian Knapczyk. It was a breaking ball, and Rushing from his knees throws out a guy who's only been tossed out twice in 10 attempts this year. Well, now Tommy Troy is 8 for 11 as we head to the 7th with the Braves leading 1-0. Braves have their 8, 9, and 1 hitters here against Asa. I'll kick it over to Daniel Coates for innings 7 and 8 right here. That's Bourne.
First pitch blown outside for strike one to Tanner Schobel. 1-0. The Braves hold the lead on the road. Looking for win number 16 against Western Division Wareham Gatemen. That one drifts high. This is Asa in his third inning appeared in, coming in with a 5.41 ERA and just over 3 innings pitched before this meeting. One of those was against the Bourne Braves. 1-1. Tanner Schobel nubs one off the end of his bat. It might stay fair. It dribbles foul down the first base line. Tanner Schobel was as surprised as every defender out there, but he goes back to the batter's box. 1-2. Zach Agnos on deck. And behind him, Christian Knapczyk in the hole now. No outs, no men on. We're fully into nighttime here at Wareham. We've avoided the foul weather that is just north of us. 1-2 fastball gets behind the catcher for ball 2. 2-2 for Shet, chasing one well outside.
Well, it was the weirdest thing today. Obviously, Daniel and I live over in West Yarmouth, which is we're right near downtown Hyannis. It was one of the most perfect days over there today.
2-2 taken high, looks foul, might be playable. Jumping over, but that just gets out of play. Morales trying to do his best to post a web gem, catching one over the railing, but it drifts too far to the right. 2-2 it remains.
Well, it was sunny, it was beautiful, and I was like, all right, another day of sunny baseball on the road. We had one at YD yesterday, and then I get a text from, I believe it was Nick, who goes, there's thunder and lightning over here, and it looks like it's about to pour. I'm like, he's kidding. And then I get to the bridge, and the weather was just completely different. Although it missed us, thank goodness.
2-2. Fastball catches the corner, low and outside, and that's going to do it for Tanner Schobel. Asa post a strikeout against the Virginia Tech Hokie in the bottom of the order. Zach Agnos due up now. 2 fly balls for him. Flew out in the second and popped up in the 5th. Then to the top of the order, Asa pitching well thus far. From Penn, breaking ball drifts too far high towards the nose of Zach Agnos, he dips out of the way. But the weather down here, I'll tell you what, it is that canal type of weather. It changes on a dime as that breaking ball drifts into the dirt. 2-0. And we've experienced that firsthand at Doran Park. Hopefully that doesn't happen tomorrow against our heavily awaited date with the Katuitt Kettleers, who just dropped a game to the Brewster Whitecaps. That one at Lowell Park. 2-0, fastball right down the pipe, looking is Agnos for strike number 1.
Well, tomorrow's a little more dicey. 58% chance of rain.
Swing and a miss, 2-2 off a fastball. Agnos knots the count. Not what you want to hear, especially at Doran Park. They call it Lake Doran. We've had our fair share of rain here. Someone mentioned to me it was the 3rd rainiest July in recorded history. Fouled off over the dugout of the Gatemen.
That I believe that was Darren.
Yes,
yeah, Darren,
that was our general
it was
manager.
Darren, yep. Which is crazy to think about. And it's what, July 17th? And he told us that on the July 13th or 14th?
Crazy.
That's wild.
2-2. That fastball low and outside for strikeout number 2. Ace is dealing here in the top of the 7th. We're going to go to the top of the order in Christian Knapczyk. He's made it on base twice. One of those was due to a single back in the 3rd. That was the first of the game for the Braves. 2 outs defending a 1-run lead, 1-0. Ground ball to short, scooped up, gunned over. Christian Knapczyk just misses the throw from Jarvis over to Morales. That's going to be out number 3. Bang, bang play given to the Wareham Gatemen. Bottom of the 7th coming up, and we might see the Lamar pitcher once again. 1-0. We're going to the bottom of the 7th. Eknes out, Bowers in. Dylan Bowers from the University of Northern Colorado. The Bear taking to the mound in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, Dylan Bowers making his 3rd appearance on the season, and he's been great so far. He allowed a hit and issued a walk against Chatham, but then against Hyannis at home in the 8-7 win. Bowers, 1 inning of perfect baseball and struck out 2, faced the minimum. So I like this kid a lot. Obviously, he's got a huge frame, those 92, 93, but I really do like Dylan Bowers a lot. I think he's got a good arsenal, a good repertoire, and I'm excited to see what he can do in his 3rd outing out here this summer. And you got to keep the lead and head it into the 8th inning, and we very well. And I know that we talked about this pregame off the air, but as Nick Galley said, there's a very good chance in the 9th inning tonight if this lead still holds for the Braves, we get to see Mr. Eric Adler.
which is always a show. Eric Adler has yet to give up a run in his impressive career with the Bourne Braves, all seen in the 9th inning. Bowers' first pitch taken right back to him, an acrobatic snag, and he underhands it over to Max Anderson for out number 1. It was drilled to his left off a bounce off the ground. He snags it with the backhand, turns over to first, and underhands it just over there to Max Anderson.
Beautiful play by Bowers. I think you described it perfectly. Acrobatic. It helps that he's 6'5" out there.
Yeah, big frame, and you know the velocity that comes from him too is something why this is a valuable pickup for the Braves. And that breaking ball is too. That one drops right into the zone.
You know what? That's probably the third breaking ball I've seen from Bowers. The first two, I think you can attest to this, Daniel, were those ones that just missed high. One in Chatham, one at home. That was perfect. He's been working on that pitch, I can tell.
The 0-1. That fastball is cut on and missed by Morales, the first baseman, who had a triple in his last at-bat.
Yeah, I love Dylan Bowers' stuff. I really do. I was impressed with him at Chatham, even though he walked the first guy at 4 pitches. Came back, he responded strong to the adversity, and then he was great last time, and he just fired one right on by Morales.
Breaking ball drops low and outside, 1-2. 1 out, and I'll tell you what, Dylan Bowers is so much bigger when you're standing next to him. I mean, I'm 5'11", you know, like I'm average. Bowers is huge, and he just throws gas right there. Fastball cut on and missed by Morales. That's out number 2, both responsible by Dylan Bowers. And I was walking alongside the bullpen the other day and looked up. Bowers is just towering there. He is just huge, and the reason why is because there's a lot to work for. There's so much potential for this kid from the University of Northern Colorado, and he just has so much leverage working with that. That fastball is going to be clocking in higher, and I think really he just has so much more potential. Fastball cut on and missed. That gets off the chest pad, it looks like, of Dalton Rushing. His face mask falls off. He's shaken up a bit. Time called, and Rushing is on his feet. That's strike 1, but
I think it got him right in the face mask and just knocked it right off.
Shaken up a bit, but the mask is right back on.
We'll share a funny story about Dylan Bowers with the quick pause real quick as he gets a round of applause. Does Rushing respectful from the home Wareham crowd, but Daniel, we were both down there. All 3 of us were, even Calvin down there. When Colton Bender got drafted, and Dylan Bowers walks in and goes, "Think I should ask him to catch a flat ground?" It was one of the more comical things in a obviously serious and emotional moment, but Dylan Bowers lightening the mood. Obviously, the mood was light for happy reasons that Bender got drafted, but heavy on his emotions was Bender for something that a lifelong goal. And then Dylan Bowers comes in and drops that joke. That was real funny.
Breaking ball from Bowers drifts upstairs. He's had trouble finding the strike zone with his off-speed and breaking ball, as he does right there. 1-1 to Brannigan. Breaking ball taken right towards us. Oh, my goodness, and it hits the shark cage. Our Nick Galley just jumped for his life. That was going right towards us. Thank goodness we had the net. But we'll take it. 1-2 count.
We got the dugout talking to us up here, talking to Nick.
1-2 after a scary play over here in the shark cage. Fastball well outside. Dalton Rushing having to jump to his feet. 2-2. 2-2 with 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th, and with this strikeout hopefully pending, Bowers would give the Gatemen just 6 outs to play with, and a breaking ball does it against Brannigan, dropping low and outside, swinging and missing is Brannigan. And Bowers coming in and taking down all 3 batters by his fielding and his pitching. To the top of the 8th we go. The Braves hold a 1-0 lead on the road at Wareham. We've reached the top of the 8th, and the Braves only have a 1-run cushion, keeping the Gatemen scoreless, though, and there's a new pitcher in for Wareham.
Yeah, Garrett Schmeltz from Louisville will face Dalton Rushing, his Louisville teammate, here next. Anderson leading off, but Schmeltz has been excellent. 1-0, a 2.57 ERA, 15 strikeouts in 7 innings.
First pitch taken back over the backstop, foul. Dalton Rushing, his teammate, battles off the first pitch.
He faced 11 hitters at Chatham, 3 2/3 innings. So he faced 12 hitters. He walked 1, but 11 of his outs, 8 were strikeouts.
0-1, chopped towards the third baseman. He can't handle the backhand, and that is going to get Dalton Rushing into first as the leadoff in the top of the 8th.
Yeah, Anderson aboard, and now he'll get a look at his current Louisville teammate, Dalton Rushing. So Anderson, it'll be interesting to see how that one is scored. Nick, what are you thinking over there? Base hit or air? We said it's a base knock, and I have to agree. Daniel, would you agree with Nick there? Base knock?
I would agree.
Okay.
I would most certainly agree.
Well, considering if the scoreboard doesn't have the runs, or excuse me, the hits or the airs, we'll have to make our own judgment on that for now. I'm going to go base hit too.
Well, that was actually Max Anderson. Here's Dalton Rushing, a Louisville versus Louisville battle. He shows bunt, pulling back. They call it an E5.
Wow.
For Max Anderson.
Well, thank you, Nick Galley.
An interesting call there. It could have gone both ways, it seemed. No outs here. Garrett Schmeltz, the Louisville Cardinal, and Dalton Rushing, the Louisville Cardinal, bearing the L on his helmet. Breaking ball drops in on the upper half for strike 1. 2 strikes immediately to Dalton Rushing. Rushing had an RBI double back in the 5th and is responsible for the first run of the entire game and still the only run of the entire game. Schmeltz from Mount Washington, Kentucky is now dealing from the stretch. McLean at third couldn't handle a slow chopper from Anderson. High fastball taken, ball number 1 by the letters of Dalton Rushing's jersey. Rushing is 1 for 2 on the day.
Yeah, I love Dalton got a little base knock off his teammate here.
Breaking ball in the dirt. Max Anderson stays at first, though. Frechette keeps it in front of him. 2-2. And Garrett Schmeltz hoping to give the Gatemen some opportunity with 2 at-bats remaining.
Yeah, Rushing's already got the bragging rights on Evan Webster, his Louisville teammate over on Hyannis.
Breaking ball skied towards the third baseman in fair territory. Securing it is McLean just within the gravel here for out number 1. Anderson stays at first. A weak pop fly battled off by Rushing. Sent over down the third base line, and Garrett Schmeltz takes care of his own teammate, his own collegiate teammate, I should say.
I don't know if you heard this conversation between Nick and I, but we were talking about, I said I was just stating a fact when I was told that the infield was made of stone dust. He said, no, it's gravel.
I heard it was all nonsense to me. It went in one ear and went out the other.
So what is it, Daniel? What's your final
I
verdict?
would say gravel.
Okay,
You know?
well, that's just false.
Maybe it's a Massachusetts thing between Nick and I. Braylon Wimmer battles off the first pitch, strike 1.
You guys teaming up on the Georgia boy. It's not fair.
Home field advantage. 0-1 with 1 out. Braylon Wimmer on the day. Struck out in the last appearance. He was hit by a pitch in the 3rd and grounded to 2nd in the 1st. Max Anderson with a lead at first. That pitch from Schmeltz right down the pipe. 2 strikes against Braylon Wimmer. Wimmer 17 for 62 coming into the game, 13 RBIs. All of his RBIs have really come in clutch, especially that game against Chatham where we forced the tie because of his bottom of the 9th RBI. Slapped that one foul down the right field line. fastball from Schmeltz.
Nick gave us a good nugget before the game, or maybe it was Calvin. I believe it was Calvin. Braylon Wimmer, the bat he's using now was the bat he used for the first 2 games of the season when he hit 2 home runs. It was Calvin. Thank you, Nick. That bat broke. He got that bat back last night. It almost hit it out of the park again. It was an RBI double off the top of the wall.
And that was back in the top of the first.
It was.
At Red Wilson Field. Breaking ball has Braylon Wimmer well ahead of it. He cuts in, misses for out number 2. Anderson still on first. Due up will be Caden Wallace with an opportunity to extend the top of the 8th. The fans are still staying here. It's a good game. Not a ton of action, but defensively sound, and the pitching has been the story here tonight. Michael Sansone goes 5 innings, and then Josh Egnes, and now we see Bowers. Wonder if we'll see him. There's not a ton of action over there in the Braves bullpen.
Yeah, should be interesting. I'd love to see Bowers go again. He was dominant that last half inning.
Caden jumps back off a fastball, low and inside, jumps off the dirt and into the chest of Frechette. 1-0 for Caden Wallace, who's 0 for 2 on the day. 326 average coming into the game. Not doing any favors for it today, but with a man on first, this inning is most certainly not over. 1-0. High and foul just behind the press box here. 0-1 to Caden Wallace. Caden at the 5 spot, and really there hasn't been any change at that 5 spot ever since he's arrived. And that was just about 2 weeks into the season, maybe a week.
Yeah, probably about a week and a half, I'd say, into the season. It was, oh man, can't pinpoint an exact date.
The delivery, high and outside, 2-1.
What, maybe end of June? June 30th?
That
June 29th?
sounds right.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Roughly, if I had to guesstimate.
I remember his first home run was against Katuitt at Lowell Park.
It was dead center, out of the trees.
Really a tone setter there. 2-1 with 2 outs. Schmeltz swinging a miss off a off-speed pitch. Caden Wallace chased that one high and outside. 2-2. Schmeltz coming in with a 2.57 ERA. This is his 4th game he's appeared in for the Gatemen. Checking back to Anderson, a quick tag, but he's safe. Anderson had to scurry back. A good pickoff move from Schmeltz.
Yeah, Schmeltz at Louisville this past season, a 5.89 ERA, only threw 18 1/3 innings. He struck out 16 while walking 6 and gave up 12 earned. But he has been a different pitcher here this summer.
2-2. Breaking ball. That's going to catch Caden Wallace. Looking off a brilliant 12-6 curveball dropping right into the zone. 1-0. The Gatemen have another opportunity, 1 of 2, if they want to get away against this Bourne Braves team that's looking for win number 16. Bowers on for the second inning. We have a new batter that is not Anthony Frechette in the 8th spot. That is going to be Jimmy Crooks, who we actually saw in the last appearance, and he slams one to right field, scooped up by Caden Wallace, but it drops beforehand for a leadoff single. That was a frozen rope into right field, just shy of Caden Wallace.
Yeah, Jimmy Crooks, one of this team's best hitters. Obviously, he got the day off against the lefty Sansome. Comes in a pinch hit and ropes one into right field. Crooks, a .241 hitter, but guy knows how to play ball. He's aboard. So now, with just a 1-run lead here, this game's getting a little dicey here in the home 8th. Another pinch hitter here.
Another pinch hitter. We will update you as soon as we can. But moves being made by the Wareham Gatemen. Man on first, Crooks taking a lead, and he smashed that ball. A fastball from Bowers. Another fastball right down the middle on the upper half. 0-1. The opportunities are running out for the Gatemen.
It's Tres Gonzalez from Tech.
Breaking ball drifts high. Dalton Russian thought about checking Crooks down at first, but he holds back.
Georgia Tech, that is. I say Tech in the South, and everyone knows what I'm talking about, but I realize up here in the North there are a lot of colleges with Tech in there, as Nick gives me a sign of disapproval.
1-1 count. Hard hit ground ball right to Anderson. He goes to second. There's Schobel turning it over to Bowers at first. That's a double play. They keep the Gatemen at bay. And 1-0. They empty the bases in favor of the Braves.
Beautiful play there by Max Anderson. Sorry. Nick just had, oh my goodness. But no, what a play by Max Anderson, obviously. We saw the other day Anderson get back for a 3-6-3 double play. It was actually Josh Moylan, but Anderson starts the turnover to short, and Dylan Bowers hustles over to first and covers for the 3-6-1 double play.
2 outs now, just like that. Bowers got himself into a bit of trouble after a first pitch base hit to Crooks. Gonzalez grounds to first into a double play. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Opportunities running low here for the Gatemen, who only now have 4 outs to play with. First pitch, low and outside. Second pitch, low and outside. 2-0. The delivery back from the stretch, fouled into the cage. 2-1. This is the top of the order. Sean McLean, who is 0 for 3 on the day. From Arizona State. Breaking ball drifts high, and Bowers still trying to control that breaking ball a bit as far as accuracy. It has great movement, Reeves, but just hasn't had the greatest handle on it.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. It has been a little more inconsistent at times throwing it, but expect the big, bad fastball here.
3-1 just outside with the heater.
That was a good call by the umpire. Just missed a little outside. Rushing tried to bring it back in and frame it, but missed a little away.
Just outside. And Jim Jarvis from Alabama takes to the batter's box. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Top of the order, Sean McLean takes first after a walk. Bowers still dealing, and you got to imagine the bottom of the 9th, if it stays this way, we might see a new pitcher.
Absolutely, it'd be
Maybe
Mr. Adler.
Eric Adler. Breaking ball there. Looks like it might have hit. It does not.
Yeah, just missed a little outside there.
1-0, 2 outs.
Maybe a little up, too. They're not missing by much. He's around the zone, so he's just trying to get these Wareham hitters to swing, and they haven't.
McLean jumps over. He's safe after Bowers Wanted to just check in on him.
McLean obviously new to the team, but a guy that has good speed, obviously that's why he's leading off.
He fakes to go. Fastball just inside. Pulling back is Jarvis. That is ball 2.
Man, Bowers is barely missing right now, just by centimeters, honestly. That's not far from that inner or outer black of the strike zone.
11 strikes, 10 balls. That one gets away from Dalton Rushing. Staying at first, though, is Sean McLean. Good quickness there by Dalton Rushing. That backhand just got away from him after a fastball falls into the dirt.
I would not be surprised if Bowers walks this hitter here. Eric Adler's in for a 4-out save. Would not be surprised. Would not shock me in the slightest. Adler's already getting loose on the pen.
Bowers 3-0 from the stretch. That one misses high. So men now on first and second. There is action out there in left field in the Braves bullpen. Harvey Shapiro is going to have a word with Bowers, who is let 2 on now, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. We'll be back in just a few moments to tell you about the new pitcher. A surprise here was Xavier Lovett, who is actually on the mound now. The newly announced transfer to Texas A&M, looking to bounce back after his appearance against Hyannis.
Yeah, against Hyannis, 1 2/3, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, and a strikeout. So a big chance for Xavier to bounce back. It's his first time against Wareham all season. I was looking out of the bullpen, and I saw Adler, so I was assuming that Adler was coming in, but did not realize there was double barrel action out there. So Xavier on, and if he's able to get the out, I'm sure we'll see Adler for the 9th. But a big guy to get here, Tommy Troy, who's speedy.
A big moment, too, for Tommy Troy. Xavier Lovett digs in from the stretch. McLean at second, leading the way. Jarvis behind him, breaking ball to start things off, catches the inner half. 0-1 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. If I had to guess or predict what was going to happen, I think Xavier Lovett will take care of the 8th, and I would not be surprised to see Adler finish things out in the 9th.
Absolutely.
0-1 to Troy, who's 0 for 2 on the day. The delivery. Chopped right off the plate. That's going to be fair. Picked up by Dalton rushing, and he just flicks it over to first base. That's going to do it. 2 pitches from Xavier Lovett, and the Braves get out of the bottom of the 8th, leaving 2 Wareham Gatemen on first and second. We're going to go to the top of the 9th. The Braves looking for some insurance run as we go to the end of this game. 1 run separates the Bourne Braves and the Wareham Gatemen, and that is in favor of the Bourne Braves, and that is the only run we have seen thus far. 1-0 at Spillane Field. Reeves, take it from here.
Thank you, sir. Garrett Schmeltz back out there against Joe Lampe, lefty-lefty matchup. Lampe squares around to bunt, but takes a ball there. Scoreboard has shut down as of now here at Spillane Field. It shut down for a moment earlier. It's back up now. 1-0 count. Schmeltz delivers. It's a bunt.
It's actually
foul.
It's happened a few times.
Yeah.
I was looking up to go get the count, and it was just a black screen.
1-1. And still finishing up, getting hot down there, I assume, and we both all assume here 100% that Eric Adler getting a fresh ninth after Lovett does his job as that ball misses upstairs. There is no 3-batter minimum rule here in the Cape, and even if there was, Xavier could be pulled because he ended the inning, but is not a rule here in the Cape Cod League. 2-1, and Joe Lampe, hard grounder to short, backhanded by Jarvis. His long throw across the diamond, and even the speedy Lampe can't beat it. He hit it a little too hard, and that'll be the first out.
Unbelievable play there by Jarvis at short. Backhands it, and just at the edge of the gravel and the grass, guns it over with his weight falling backwards. And that one, even the speedy Joe Lampe couldn't beat it out.
Nick Goodwin, the 7-hitter, will be pinch hit for here by Colby Thomas. So they'll get some defensive relief by Colby coming into the game in left field for the 9th. Someone who is as sure-handed as he is in the outfield. Although 2 errors in his past 2 games in the outfield. But Colby, a great defender. He's made some highlight reel plays this year. And at the plate, well, you mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, Daniel, as he takes a strike, or maybe it was on the pregame Tomahawk Talk, but when you can go from having no homers and no RBIs to 1 homer and 9 RBIs within 4 games, that is pretty good as he fouls this one away, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, I would argue that he has been the hottest, and really the argument isn't necessarily uncommon, but he's had 9 RBIs in the last 4 games. I think he's the hottest batter for the boys in blue right here. But
yeah, 2 3-run homers.
Trying to improve on that here. We only have 1 run, and we know that 1 run, anything can happen. So 1-0 score is.
We also know that 1 run is all Eric Adler needs.
Exactly. I was waiting for you to say
yes,
that.
Yes, sir. 1-2. And Colby Thomas lifts one into left. That one drifting Diodati back, but he's under it to make the catch 2 away. Ball just not carrying tonight.
Nope. It's actually reaching a certain point, and it looks like it's hitting the wind out there in left field and completely dropping. I think a lot of these balls that we have seen that are deep into center, we saw that with Caden Wallace. We just saw it there with Colby Thomas. I'm sure yesterday at Red Wilson Field with the wind blowing out to center and left, we would have seen a couple of home runs here tonight.
Tanner Schobel steps in. The 8-hole hitter is 0 for 3 tonight after a homer a night ago. He flew out to center, lined out to Jarvis, and struck out looking. That was back in the 6th inning to lead off as he takes a strike there from Schmeltz, 1-1. The Braves looking to win their 5th game in a row tonight and improve to 16, 2-3 on the season. Schmeltz delivers and Schobel lifts it into right field. A long way to go for Brannigan, but he drifts over near the line, and he makes the catch. Well, it is Eric Adler time here at Spillane. The right-hander making his way out of the bullpen. And we are excited for his appearance next right here, the bottom of the 9th upcoming from Spillane Field. Well, it is the ever-dangerous and shutdown closer, Eric Adler, on and making his 9th appearance already on the season. Daniel, he's got some of the best numbers not only on this team but throughout the entire league. Adler, who has yet to allow a run and has struck out 17. Obviously, he's gone just an inning in each of his appearances, and once again on the 9th.
No runs let up. This is his 9th game. He has 4 saves already off of 8 innings pitched. He's only walked 3, giving up 3 hits compared to the 17 strikeouts that he's posted. I believe Austin Parsley took over the strikeout leader for the team yesterday in his relief. But for the amount of innings that Eric Adler has pitched,
yeah, ridiculous.
It's incredible that he is posting 17 strikeouts, and we're hoping that he does that again. Only a 1-run cushion to the Braves looking to escape Spillane Field with a 1-0 victory after everyone else in the West Division has dropped a game.
Would be a big win to pick up. Adler on the season, 2 of those hits came in the first game at Hyannis in that bases-loaded scare. And then through every game, Adler has struck out more than 1 hitter in every game other than 1, and that 1 game being June 30th versus Harwich. His strikeout totals per game, 3-2, 1-2, 2-3, 2-2. We would love him to strike out the side here tonight. But he's got some tough business. Diodati, James, and Morales, 4, 5, and 6. He picked up the save. Well, not the save, but he closed it out against Wareham in a 4-0 win. 1 inning, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. That was on the 4th of July. Adler ready to go here against Diodati. A first pitch fastball misses high. 1-0. The ever dangerous Adler against the same descriptive against Diodati here. Never dangerous in the plate. 1-0. And Diodati breaks the bat. You heard that one snap. Over to Anderson. He takes it himself, touches the bag, and a good start for Adler. 1 up, 1 down.
I'll tell you what, the work at first base by Max Anderson has really impressed me tonight, and I think for Harvey Shapiro moving forward, you know, you got Joshua Moylan, Max Anderson, Dalton Rushing at first. Max Anderson is making a case that Dalton Rushing could be seen behind the plate more often than first base.
Cameron James digging in, the left-handed hitting DH. Nope, excuse me. This is a pinch hitter here to tell you about. It's Kellum Clark, lefty from Brandon, Mississippi, but indeed also a Mississippi State Bulldog. And a fastball that misses away here to Clark. Was a sophomore with the Bulldogs, a rising junior. 6'4", 210 pounds.
He's batting 190 on the season.
Fastball, there you go, Eric. Finds the zone, 1-1. So the third pinch hitter of the day. They're trying to stack up the lefties against the Braves right-handers after Sansone started.
This is his 22nd at-bat.
Breaking ball called strike. One and two here. Adler. It's a Clark. Sit him down here, Eric. 1-2 coming. And misses downstairs.
Ooh. Boy, and you talk about an effortless mid-90s. That is about as seamless and as pretty a delivery you're going to see. He's very dramatic in the stretch that he pitches from. He has the big squat and now pops up into that straight position. But a 2-2 count here.
2-2 swing and a miss. And the pinch hitter Clark goes down on strikes. And the Braves now just an out away from taking the first 3 games of this season series against divisional rival Wareham and picking up a win tonight in which Daniel mentioned the rest of the division losing. And if we win, obviously beating a divisional opponent while doing that. The last hope is Yohandy Morales. He has a triple to his credit thus far. First pitch from Adler is a breaking ball that misses a little high, 1-0. And the Braves would pick up their 5th victory in succession. 1-0. That misses a downstairs with a breaking ball there, 2-0. And meanwhile, Wareham, who has been on a slide with 4 consecutive losses, Daniel, if Yohandy can't keep the game alive, if he goes down, it'd be 5 in a row. Probably a fastball here from Adler. It is. Morales was ready for it and fouls it off 2-1.
And 5 wins if Eric Adler can hold on to this. His breaking ball has drifted around the zone, got him into this 2-0 count, but now after that foul ball, 2-1. If I'm Eric Adler, I'm just sticking with the fastball now. You know, you have 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, you have a 1-run lead. If they put it in play, the defense has been seamless this entire game.
2-1 here from Adler. And that's a called strike. Beautiful pitch right there. Adler comes set. Down to his last strike is Morales. Adler deals. Fastball swing and a miss. Strike 3. Adler slams the door and the Braves pick up win number 16 behind another dominant pitching performance and the RBI double of Dalton Rushing.
The Braves continue to roll. Here comes the bullpen, and what a win. 1-0 on the road at Spillane. For some reason, every time we play these Gatemen at Spillane, It's a low-scoring affair, but we'll take the victory nonetheless. The Braves are in the middle of the infield, greeting each other, congratulating each other. That is the third win we have over the Wareham Gatemen this season.
Well, when you can pick up 2 points on every team in the division on any given night, you will take it. The Braves will take a 1-0 win. Back-to-back shutouts here at Spillane Field, July 4th and here today on July 17th, just about 2 weeks later. A big win for the Braves. They do it behind the strong 5 innings of Michael Sansone. He picks up the win. And on in relief, Josh Eknes had a scoreless inning. Dylan Bowers had a scoreless inning in 2/3. Xavier Lovett gets the big out with runners on first and second. And we just saw Eric Adler make it look easy. The Braves don't string together many hits tonight, Daniel, but in that 5th inning, they do it with 2 outs. Max Anderson a double, and then right behind them, Dalton Rushing a double of his own brings home Anderson. And that's all the Braves needed tonight.
That's all they needed. And I'll tell you what, the story around this team was originally when the draft was going to come up, we might be dropping in talent. We might be dropping in consistency. Gordon Graceffo leaving, Nick Zawak leaving, Peter Van Loon leaving. And I'll tell you what, with Tristan Vreeling, Michael Sansone, and Ben Etheridge, and you can go on and on. These guys have proven that even though our first starting guys in the rotation have left, we are still very much one of the powerhouses when it comes to pitching, and they have stepped up in a major way, and that's the reason why we have hit 16 wins.
Well, the Braves are not only a powerhouse in this Western Division, but they are the team to beat, the premier team in the Cape League in 2021, and I think everybody knows it. As the Bourne Braves pick up win number 16 tonight, they improved to 16-2-3 on the season with a 1-0 shutout of the Wareham Gatemen. Tomorrow night, we return home to Doran Park to face the Cotuit Cavaliers, a matchup that we always long await. So tomorrow night, Braves and Cotuit at Doran Park. First pitch at 6 p.m. Join Daniel Coates and myself, and we will look to take down to Cotuit and make it 6 in a row. So tomorrow night at Doran Park, Braves and the Cavaliers. Daniel and I will be on the call, but from tonight here at Spillane, Braves win it 1-0. We'll see you tomorrow night, and good night.